This is the best chicken piccata recipe I've ever made. A classic celebration of springtime with the combination of lemon, chicken, artichokes, and capers in a light but incredibly flavorful dish with a glossy, saucy finish that pairs perfectly with an equally light grain like quinoa or rice and a side of springtime asparagus. Best of all, it comes together in about 45 minutes. So let's get started. There's very little prep to this classically Mediterranean dish, starting with mincing the garlic and dicing the onion. And of course, I always rely on a nice sharp knife, so it's become a habit for me to hone the edge before I start. Now, zest and juice one lemon. Artichokes are one of the most popular vegetables in the Mediterranean region, and they're a great low-carb option to add to your own mix of healthy veggies, especially because they're available all year long in one form or another. The fields of the valley leading to our farm is a major growing destination for these beauties, so I'm inspired to think about them every time we drive by. You have a few different options when it comes to the artichoke hearts. You can open a can and drain it, take a bag out of the freezer and defrost it, or trim some tender spring artichokes, cutting the hearts into quarters, which is what I'm doing today since they're fresh in the market. Trimming a spring artichoke is so easy. First, just pull off enough leaves to reveal the tender center and trim off the top. Now trim away the rough edges from the bottom. And finally, quarter the artichoke hearts into bite-sized pieces to make them easier to serve in the final dish. My butcher debones and slices the chicken breasts into a thickness so I don't have to pound them thin, but I can slice them into fillet-sized pieces if I feel like it. Next, blend together a half a cup of all-purpose flour, a half a teaspoon of garlic powder, a half a teaspoon of Italian seasoning, and a quarter teaspoon of chili flakes if you want to add a little extra kick, and a teaspoon of salt. Mix it up and dredge the chicken pieces until they're well coated. Now let's head over to the stovetop and heat 2 tablespoons of olive oil over a medium-high heat. And sear the chicken for 2 minutes per side until it's nicely browned. And you don't want to crowd the pan, so I cooked all the chicken in 2 batches. As soon as it's nicely browned all around, remove it to the side. And with those beautiful bits still in the pan, add a bit of olive oil, the garlic, and the onion, and cook until they're translucent and tender. Then add a half a cup of white wine if you'd like, 2 tablespoons of lemon juice, and 2 cups of chicken stock, deglazing all those brown bits. And don't forget the lemon zest to give it a real punch of lemony flavor. Add all the artichoke hearts and nestle the chicken pieces in the pan. Now all we have to do is simmer it uncovered for about 20 minutes as the sauce thickens up and we're ready to finish the dish. Once the sauce is nice and thick, add a half a cup of capers and garnish with a few fresh green herbs. I'm using chives and baby basil today. For today's lunch, I'm plating it with silky and tender hand-cut Chinese noodles, the perfect light complement to all this flavor. And if you're looking for more ways to get healthy, tasty dishes on the table, you're not going to want to miss this playlist.